All right, let's kick it off here with week 3 NFL power rankings. I'm gonna run through my top 10. Should be tons of fun. Let's get into it. At number 10, we have a team that has scored 40 plus points in 3 straight games dating back to last season. The new offensive coordinator in Clint Kubiak has really opened up this offense. And at the end of the day, it is an election year. That seemingly is when Derek Carr has his best years. Don't believe me? Go look it up. But again, they've dominated offensively, defensively. Big test for them this week against Philadelphia. At number 9, I want to talk about a team that is led by a quarterback that has an unusual quarterback path as far as when he got his starting position, at least his second chance in the league. And that is Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks. They come in at number 9. And I found some of these stats, and I want to throw them out there for you guys at home. Since 2021, only one quarterback has hit all 3 of these thresholds in a certain week. This is dating back, of course, to last week against the Patriots. 40 plus dropbacks, an average depth of targets of 8 plus yards, and 0 off target throws. That, of course, is according to the deeper analytics. That quarterback is, you guessed it, Geno Smith. On the year, Geno Smith he has a completion percentage over expected in the 97th percentile. There's nobody in the league that's close to Geno Smith. He's playing out of his mind. The defense is great, led by Mac McDonald, and they have a great chance here to get a statement victory in week 3 at home against Miami. I like Seattle this week. At 7 and 8, these are teams that have been right next to each other all offseason for me. The New York Jets and the Dallas Cowboys. The Jets and the Cowboys lost. They dropped a spot. The Jets, they won. They jumped up a spot, but neither team, it's far, I think, from their best versions. I think we still have a lot to see from these teams. Now, again, you have the argument of New Orleans just beat Dallas. They should be ahead of them. I can understand that. But as of right now, I think Dallas has a little bit more potential as far as the entire season in totality. They're at 8. New York is at 7. I want to see the Jets fine-tune a lot of things. We have yet to see the best versions from either of these teams. At 5 and 6, the same can be said about these two teams. But the Bills, man, sometimes less is more. I compare this team to the 2015 Panthers a lot, and for good reason. And they're off to a good start if they want to mimic what Carolina did back in 2015. But this week, big game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they can handle business and improve to 3-0, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, that's after losing Stephon Diggs. The Eagles, you lost, and you had so many costly penalties down the stretch, but you have so much talent on this roster that you would think they can figure this out eventually, right? Maybe not. At number 3 and 4, again, a lot of these teams can be grouped together. These two are no different. The Detroit Lions, my preseason Super Bowl favorite, as well as many others, they have done everything. But last week was probably the worst game I've ever seen from Jared Goff in a Detroit Lions uniform. I think he's far better than what he showed, and I think there's no doubt in my mind Ben Johnson and his offense gets back on track next week. Also, shout out to Aiden Hutchinson. 5 sacks in a single week. Insane. We'll talk about him later. For the Niners, look, you've just had injuries. Deebo Samuel is now down. You want to see Brandon Ayuk, after paying him all that money, take a step up. But again, you lost a game, or you lost last week, and that should say they went down 1 spot, not 4. Of course, that is not possible. But Brandon Ayuk, time to step up. At 1 and 2, am I overreacting? Let me know. Kansas City, they're at number 1. We all know why. At number 2, Houston, find the flaws. That's my point here. I think offensively, they have everything. They have so many talented weapons. A guy like John Mechie, that was a star at Alabama, came into the league, of course, had some health issues, but last year showed flashes. He's getting DNPs. This is a guy that would be the number 2 wide receiver in Dallas. He's getting DNPs in this Houston offense. You got to find the flaws on this team. They have everything that you would possibly want outside of proven, deep playoff experience. But outside of that, again, I believe they have everything to make a deep run in the AFC and give Kansas City a run for their money. But here's my top 10. If there was any team that should have an argument to be in this list, number 1 is Tampa Bay. Number 2, I would say probably the Pittsburgh Steelers.